customers.
Try the newest, cheapest, and fastest delivery na express service. Introducing Moto Express PH. You can now leave your shopping and delivery needs with us without much exposure and interaction to people outside. Mapa-grocery items, medicines, foods, and other essentials and halal-certified products, kami na ang mamimili at maghahatid sa'yo. Sinisigurado na ligtas, in good and quality condition ang mga pabili o orders sa delivery service na iyong i-avail. Para sa maayos at mabilis na delivery at order mo, ipamoto mo na. Download Moto Express PH app through Google Play that is built to deliver beyond your expectation. Tara na dito sa Moto Express. Dahil moto mo to.
Are you craving for some milk tea and donuts but you're watching your diet? Good news! You can now enjoy a healthier and superbly delicious keto milk tea and donuts here at Winkle Milk Tea and Winkle Donut. Has fewer calories, so it's good for the health and diet conscious and controlling weight. Why choose Winkle Milk Tea and Winkle Donut? The first halal certified milk Winkle Teas and Winkle Donut in the Philippines. The first healthy keto milk tea franchise in the Philippines. FDA approved. Uniquely infused milk tea flavors with high quality ingredients and premium taste. And if you want a healthy and refreshing franchise opportunity, a competitive healthy blended milk tea and donut franchise awaits you. We have business opportunity options you can choose from. Online seller, micro franchise, unit franchise, master franchise, international franchise. Order via our Facebook page, Winkle Tea and Winkle Donut, or contact 0995-551-4380 to experience this happiness in a box with your favorite Winkle Milk Tea and Winkle Donut.
Hello everyone, today I'm going to teach you on how to register in our platform. Firstly, you need to click www.ejasmine.com. This is how our platform interface looks like once you click www.ejasmine.com. As you can see, on the top right corner, click the login or register button. You will see two options, which is login button and register button. If you already have an account, just simply fill in your details. But if you does not have an account, click the register button and fill in your details requirement. If you are interested for becoming a vendor, you can click become a vendor button below. For vendor registration, you need to complete the details requirement. If you have halal certificate, you need to upload it on this section. Last but not least, once you have completed all the detail requirements, just click the register button. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I begin in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the entirely merciful, especially merciful. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh sa ating mga kapatid sa Islam, and good morning po sa ating mga kababayan. Alhamdulillah, our host, Shariah Counselor Noor, inshallah could not join us today since he has a very important appointment po sa mga araw na ito po, alhamdulillah. And this morning I would be with you to discuss some of the provisions po ng ating PD 1083. Sa ating pong mga tagapagsubaybay ng programang ito, Batas at Shariah, ito po yung naglalayo na magbigay ng education, lalo na po sa ating mga kapatid na mga Muslims. And particularly, yung sa ating po mga kapatid na mga balik Islam o kaya mga revert to Islam, sila po ang kadalasan ay may mga concerns of which na nangangailangan po ng mga, let's say, guidance. But of course, yung i-share ko lang po sa inyo sa ngayon, These are my opinion lang po. And kung nangailangan po kayo ng mga experts advice, please contact po yung sa ating mga Shariah counselors. Isa na po rito yung ating butihing kapatid na si Shariah Counselor Hernandez. And so pwede rin po kayo na makipag-ugnayan sa ating mga regular lawyers. Alhamdulillah. And I would like to send my salam to President Ismail Abaya of GPTV 168. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh po sa inyo, Pres Ismail Abaya. Thank you rin po sa Bounce Back Network, sa mga affiliate channels worldwide, and then sa ating pong butihing director, Sir Carl. Alhamdulillah sa mga tulong po ninyo sa ating, especially sa mga programa po natin dito sa GPTV 168. Mga kapatid natin sa Islam, sa ulitin ko po, what I will be sharing with you are all my opinion lang po. And this does not replace any legal advice. So, base lang po sa ilan sa mga natutunan ko from my learnings with Shariah Counselor Noor. Alhamdulillah, may mga ilan na po mga karagdagang kaalaman ako na I believe this would be very beneficial po ang mga kaalaman ito, lalo na po sa mga new reverts to Islam. Dahil alam po natin sa atin po, there is what we have laws, especially yung sa ating Civil Code of the Philippines, we have this Article 3, which states that ignorance to the law excuses no one from compliance therewith. So bilang Muslim po, we have to motivate ourselves to learn ano po yung mga laws na nag-govern po sa ating life as a citizen of this country, as a Muslim. And alhamdulillah sa atin po, tayo as mga Muslim, yung atin pong mga tinatawag na nag-govern sa ating lives, of course, in line with the laws of the Philippines, ito po yung PD 1083. So ilan po na mga provisions ng ating Presidential Decree 1083 ang aking i-share sa inyo this time. Lalo na po yung sa ilan sa yung issue po sa marriage. Ano yung mga requisites of marriage, ano yung nature, kaya yung essential requisites ng marriage, kaya yung capacity to contract marriage, marriage ceremony, authority to solemnize marriage, place of solemnization, at iba pa po yung kaya po nating i-discuss this morning po or this noon with you po inshallah. And I believe this is really very beneficial po, especially marami sa ating mga kapatid na baguhan lamang sa Islam ay nangangailangan talaga ng somehow an education on how would we act, ano po yung nag-govern sa ating mga action, dahil this would be consequences po. And we know that as Muslims that we must be law-abiding citizens po ng ating country. Maging we would be, let's say, positive contributor po ng ating society. So, with our knowledge, gaano man ito kaliit pa sa ngayon, but if we constantly expose ourselves sa pagbabasa o kaya sa pakikinig, kagaya ng mga programa nito, kaya yung sa mga programa po ng ating kapatid, si Shariah Counselor Noor, marami po siyang mga topics na bigay po ng ating awareness kung ano ba yung mga solusyon in line with the laws of our country na magagamit po na para magkakaroon tayo ng precaution o kaya may mga protection tayo. Of course, from day-to-day activities natin, alhamdulillah, may mga dapat pag-iingatan tayo, and kaya may dapat alamin tayo, especially po tayo as mga magulang. Hindi po kasi we are already a Muslim, and that yung lang ating pagtuunan pansin yung the performance of our obligation in praying po. But we know so well that Islam covers it's a way of life. So hindi naman po binabanggit na yun lang pagiging Muslim natin ay because we perform diligently yung atin po yung 5 times na prayer in a day. But there are several aspects in our lives that really have to be well, before we do something, let's have to know if what would be the consequences nito. And kagaya ng binanggit ko kanina, yung patungkol po sa limbawa sa marriage, of which siguro not all parent at homes, especially sa mga Muslim families na binabanggit o kaya dinidiscuss to sa sa family. Maganda po na magkakaroon tayo ng awareness o kaya knowledge po, lalo na kung ano yung what are these provisions that are in our PD 1083 with regards to marriage. And of course, may mga anak tayo, hindi naman sa buong buhay nila na they would be under our care and they would be, inshallah, be deciding for themselves, for their future, especially po ng pagkakaroon ng panibagong yugto po ng kanilang buhay sa pag-aasawa po. And as much as possible, yung ating kaalaman po ay atin rin po i-share sa ating mga family members. Lalo na i-share natin ito. Of course, there are specific, let's say, conditions kung kanino po natin i-share ito, especially sa ating mga family members. And kung maaari, yung sa mga anak natin na they are already on their teenage life, and o kaya on their late adolescence years, dapat i-orient din natin sila sa mga mga laws na dapat nating intindihin. Kaya nasa PD 1083. Before I would be sharing with you yung sa ilan sa mga articles ng ating PD 1083 on the marriage, on chapter 2 po dito, I would like to share on this, on sa PD 1083. This PD 1083 is a decree to ordain and promulgate a code recognizing the system of Filipino Muslim laws, codifying Muslim personal laws, and providing for its administration and for other purposes. Alhamdulillah, this is napapaloob po dito, binanggit dito po sa introductory part po ng PD 1083, whereas Islamic law and its principle of equity and justice to which the Filipino Muslim communities adhere provide an essential basis for the fuller development of said communities in relation to the search for harmonious relations of all segments of the Filipino nation to enhance national unity. Napakagandang pakay po, napakagandang adhikain po na nagkakaroon tayo ng ganitong gabay, yung tinatawag natin yung PD 1083 as a Muslim. Dahil dito, lalo na sa nabanggit ko, in my opinion po, ito ay silbing guidelines, ito yung magsisilbing rules natin, ito yung magbibigay sa atin ng mga essential, yung mga talagang kinakailangan nating malaman, maisagawa, para magkakaroon po tayo, sabi dito, for a fuller development of said communities. Sino ba itong binabanggit na communities? Of course, yung Muslim Ummah. But why do we have to know what are these articles, what are these provisions po ng ating PD 1083? Naglalayon po ito in relation to the search for harmonious relations for all segments of the Filipino nation. Diba napakaganda, no? Na ginagabayan tayo na paano tayo mamumuhay in lines po sa ating din, Islam. And with these articles, with these provisions, with these laws, mga policies, and mga implementing rules and regulation po ng ating country, we would be guided. Diba, simpleng mga activities natin ay may kaakibat po yan ng mga consequences, maging ito po sa ating kabutihan o kaya kung minsan ito po nagdudulot sa atin on the negative side, basta hindi po natin binigyan ng time ourselves to learn and what are this po. Alhamdulillah, yung ating PD 1083 po ay of course ito ay nag-recognize the legal system of the Muslims in the Philippines as part of the law of the land and seeks to make Islamic institutions more effective. So, ano ay yung halimbawa? Sino yung pwede o kaya makagamit nito? Alhamdulillah, binanggit po dito na of course yung mga Muslim, alhamdulillah, Muslim, sino ba yung mga Muslim? Sa atin pong definition na nasa Article 7, which is on paragraph G, Muslim is a person who testifies to the oneness of God and the prophethood of Muhammad and professes Islam. Alhamdulillah. And sana maging gabay natin ito, lalo na po sa ating mga magulang and then those who have mga growing up children o kaya yung mga adolescents o kaya kung hindi man kayo parent but you need to know ano po yung pwede nating ma-share sa kanila. So babanggitin ko po rito yung mga tinatawag nating requisites to marriage. Might be napansin mo o kaya nakikitaan mo na yung anak mo talagang direction na niya ay nasa pag-aasawa na po. So alamin natin, paano ba ito na-describe? What's the nature of marriage as stated in Article 14? Its nature is this: marriage is not only a civil contract but a social institution. Its nature, consequences, and incidents are governed by this code and the Shariah, and not subject to the stipulation except that the marriage settlements may, to a certain extent, fix the property relations. So, ano po yung mga pwede natin maintindihan dito? Of course, as I've said, these are just my opinion po, that this not only a kontrata ba or a civil contract, but it is a social institution. So, parang kino-combine yung the essence of a family and then what are the religious obligations na dapat po nating alamin, isa sa buhay, at saka atin pong i-share po sa ating family members po, especially we as a Muslim and living in this society where we are governed by laws. And sa mga naglalayon po na magpapakasal, ilan po sa atin, halimbawa mga kapatid po natin sa Islam, lalo na po yung mga babae o mga Muslima, siguro nasa isip ninyo na mag-asawa na kayo, may naisipan na kayo, the person whom you believe, whom you feel na ito na ang magiging partner mo sa buhay. Of course, may dapat po tayong titingnan. May mga requisito, may mga requisites tayo, and these are written in these are stated in Article 15. Ano ba yung mga requisites? Binanggit dito, no marriage contract shall be perfected unless the following essential requisites are complied with. So isipin natin mga kapatid, kung halimbawa nakasulat dito 5 na mga requisites bago maganap o makumpleto maganap talaga yung pagkakaroon ng marriage, kung isa halimbawa out of these 5 ay wala, please take note, dapat po in question na yan. So ano ba yung mga dapat natin malaman? Ano ba yung mga requisites? Dito po, may 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 requisites po na essential requisites in marriage o pagpapakasal or nikah. Paragraph A, this is legal capacity. of the contracting parties. So, ano ibig sabihin pag sinabi nating legal capacity? So, may mga kondisyones po dapat na pagtuunan natin ng pansin at alamin. In line po, in connection po dito, halimbawa nasa Article 16, the capacity to contract marriage. Sino-sino po? In paragraph 1, binanggit po dito, any Muslim male at least 15 years of age and any Muslim female of the age of puberty or upwards and not suffering from any impediment under the provisions of this code may contract marriage. A female is presumed to have attained puberty upon reaching the age of 15. So ano po ito mga kapatid? Of course, ang inline po sa binanggit ko dito, Article 16 of PD 1083, at least yung lalaki is 15 years. I would not interpret po dito. I don't have the authority to interpret po. So kung nangailangan po kayo ng mga let's say yung po may authority to interpret po ng ating batas ay yung pong mga Shariah counselors natin kaya yung ating mga regular lawyers. And binabanggit po rin dito na yung babae pwede siyang maikasal if naabot na po niya yung puberty or upwards. Ano yung nasasabi na puberty? Yun bang parang ready na siya to become physically as a mom? So yung biological aspect in life po niya is ready na to be in the motherhood part of her life. So usually binabanggit po dito or nakasulat po dito that at the age of 15 that is presumed na the woman or the Muslima has reached her puberty stage po. And in paragraph 2 po dito, under pa po to sa binabanggit natin yung legal capacity, kung halimbawa yung, ito po pala, letter B po yung sa essential requisites, yung mutual consent of the parties freely given. Ibig sabihin na yung both parties, sa babae, sa lalaki po, ay talagang binibigay nila. And not only that po, from my learnings po with our studies on this paralegal training po with Shariah counselor, dapat po this, of course, with the kaalaman po ng wali o kaya ng parent ng both sides, alhamdulillah. And then letter C, continuation po ito, nagkakaroon po ng offer, ijab, and acceptance or kabul duly witnessed by at least competent persons after the proper guardian in marriage or the wali has given his consent. So, sino-sino po ba yung mga competent persons na pwede sila yung mag-witness, duly witness po sa marriage? Of course, yung mga tao na kilala sa inyong community, and of course, with good reputation. Alhamdulillah. So, pwede po sila na maging witnesses po ng inyong marriage. And at least, dalawa po ang kinakailangan dito. And of course, may parang sabihin natin, dito in paragraph C, sinasabing after the proper guardian in wali has given his consent. So magpapaalam po si babae, magpapaalam po si lalaki on their plan to be into the marriage life po. And letter D or the paragraph D, stipulation of customary doer, mahar, duly witnessed by two competent persons. Sa Islam po kasi, this is what we call isa sa mga costumbre o I am just using that term po. Kakaroon po, may binibigay po si husband to the husband to be sa kanya pong future wife, inshallah. And of course, ito yung tinatawag nating dower o kaya mahar. And again, this is duly witnessed by two competent persons, yung pagbibigay po. And next po, yung sa babasahin ko po sa inyo mga kapatid ko sa Islam, ano yung mga napapalo pa po sa Article 16. Kanina po nabasa ko yung ilan sa mga paragraph dito. Ito po yung sa paragraph 16, capacity to contract marriage. Nabasa ko na po yung sa first paragraph. Ang babasahin ko po ngayon sa inyo yung sa paragraph 2. However, the Shariah District Court may, upon petition of a proper wali, order the solemnization of the marriage of a female who, though less than 15 but not below 12 years of age, has attained puberty. So, there is the involvement na po of the Shariah District Court kung sakaling the female is though nasa less than 15 years old po siya, but below 12 years of age and has attained puberty po. And paragraph 3, marriage through a wali by a minor below the prescribed ages shall be regarded as betrothal and may be annulled upon the petition of either party within 4 years after attaining the age of puberty, provided no voluntary cohabitation has taken place and the wali who contracted the marriage was other than the father of or the paternal grandfather. Alhamdulillah. And next, babasahin ko po sa inyo yung paano ba yung seremonya ng marriage para sa mga Muslims. This is stated in Article 17, marriage ceremony. No particular form of marriage ceremony is required, but the ijab and the kabul in marriage shall be declared publicly in the presence of the person solemnizing the marriage and two competent persons. So ulitin ko po mga kapatid natin, lalo na po sa mga kababaihang mga Muslima na naglalayon po na they would be into this marriage stage of life, is that siguraduhin po natin that yung marriage ninyo ay declared publicly. Klarong-klaro po dito sa ating binasa, yung sa Article 17, that this shall be declared publicly in the presence of the person solemnizing the marriage and two competent witnesses. So, ulitin ko po, publicly declared declared publicly yung marriage ninyo. So, sino-sino po yung andun, the minimum at yung person na magkakasal po sa inyo at yung dalawang competent witnesses. So, kagaya po ng mga nabanggit na po sa maraming beses ng ating kapatid, si Shariah Counselor Noor, palagi po siyang nagpaalala sa ating mga kapatid na yung pong mga video call marriages ay hindi po na mention o kaya wala po to nabanggit sa ating PD 1083. So this is very, let's say, understandable po. This is, klaro po naman ang nasa dito po, publicly declared. So ibig sabihin, there is this physical appearance po. Yung dalawang parties na ikakasal, yung solemnizing officer, at saka yung magwi-witness po ng inyong nikah. So, alalahanin natin, sisters, na kung sakaling may mga kapatid po tayo dyan of whom you consider him to be somebody in authority, siguro, alhamdulillah, of course, nagkakaroon siya ng malawak na kaalaman sa Islam, and then he is teaching Islam sa mga kapatid natin dyan, sa inyong community. But kung sakaling yung kaalaman po niya sa batas, lalo na po sa ating PD 1083, ay in question po, then he just, for example, encourage you to be wed with somebody without knowing what are the requisites, what are the how this marriage ceremony be done, please be aware po. Please, this is your life, and whatever decisions that you would be making have this what we call consequences. So it's good that we from time to time be oriented, be knowledgeable, o kaya we consult people who are experts in the Sharia law, on this law that we have on PD 1083, or the regular law po natin. Those experts, especially our Sharia counselors, they are the person in authority who can guide us on how we would be uh, doing things that will have consequences in our lives. So with regards to marriage po, and makinig po tayo sa kanilang mga constant advice, constant reminder po sa atin. Of course, that is your life, but as a Filipino Muslim, kagaya yung nabasa ko kanina sa inyo po with regards to introduction, that to live harmoniously with the rest of the citizens in our community, we have to be conscious or be aware of our laws, and as much as possible, follow what this laws all about, so that hindi po tayo maging problema po sa ating society. Klaro naman po dito sa PD 1083 is that na magkakaroon po tayo ng harmonious relationship in all segments of the Filipino society. Ang napapansin ko kasi mga kapatid natin sa Islam, lalo na po yung mga baguhan pa po sa ating din, yung mga new reverts po sa Islam. Lalo na po yung mga kabataan o kaya nag-iedad mga, I mean, yung sa marriageable age po, usually sa atin po, lalo na yung sa mga kababaihan, they had that desire to get into the marriage life if they are already on the 20, on their stage, on that stage po. So if they don't have the proper guidance po with regards to this marriage stage of your lives, ano yung gagawin mo? Problema po talaga. Dahil may mga kapatid din tayo, bagaman they are teaching Islam po, may ilan po sa kanila, hindi talaga alam yung mga batas po. For example, may nakausap po kami na she is really planning na magkakaroon siya ng marriage with a foreigner po. Of course, with this pandemic time, o kaya kahit hindi pa dumating yung pandemic time, nang nangyayari na po sa ating society, yung pagkakaroon po ng kasalan through video calling. And siguro, with the mindset po ng ilan nating mga kapatid, na mga, they consider this as their teachers, o kaya yung nagtuturo sa Islam na, okay, pwede ka nang mag-asawa, but they are not properly guiding our sisters in Islam. Malaking problema po yan sa ating mga kapatid. And of course, isa sa mga alam ko po, halimbawa, if magkakaroon po kayo ng ganitong mga plano, lalo na with a foreigner, you have to consult Sharia counselors po natin para mag-guided po kayo. Hindi po basta-basta gagawa kayo ng mga hakbang na sa kalaunan po ano po ninyo, this would give you some down moments in your lives. So ilan po, halimbawa may nalalaman po na ako na kung may plano talaga kayo, discuss with your inshallah your future husband na your marriage ceremony be done or be officiated po in the embassy. Kung halimbawa sa anong country siya, may mga embassies naman po dito sa ating country, of which you can have your marriage ceremony there. So in the doon po in the presence of the embassy. Of course, we know extension yan ng kanila pong country, whatever embassy dito po sa Philippines, extension po nila yan. So para na rin po kayong kinasal sa kanilang lugar kung sakaling doon po kayo magpapakasal. So ayan, isa sa mga tips po na dapat nating malalaman. And then isa sa nabanggit din doon is that yung bang parang i-transfer din yung I hope I'm just sharing my opinion po at then base po sa mga konting natutunan ko that para bang upon that agreement po magkakaroon kayo ng agreement that aside from your wedding ceremony be done in the embassy, and then that agreement again, another agreement is that para bang i-transfer din sa iyo kakaroon yung nationality ng inyong husband to be po ay magiging inyo na rin po. So ulitin ko po yung sa article 16, article 17, publicly declared or declare publicly po ang marriage ninyo. And then continuation po, this declaration shall be set forth in an instrument in triplicate. So sino magsasign, of course, signed or marked by the contracting parties, kayo po na magpapakasal, and the witnesses po ninyo, yung sa nabanggit natin sa unahan, 2 witnesses, and attested by the person solemnizing the marriage. And 1 copy shall be given to the contracting parties and another sent to the circuit registrar by the solemnizing officer who shall keep the third. Of course, may mga dapat pa rin mga karagdagang kaalaman po rin tayo na alamin. Halimbawa yung sino ba yung authorized to solemnize marriage? So mga kapatid ko sa pananampalataya, lalo na sa mga Muslima, you have to know this, who are this authorized to solemnize marriage. In Article 18 of this PD 1083, marriage may be solemnized by the proper wali of the woman to be wedded. B, upon authority of the proper wali by any person who is competent under Muslim law to solemnize marriage. So sino yung mga competent person under Muslim law to solemnize marriage? Make sure po yung accredited po sa Philippine Statistics Authority po. So yung may accreditation po sila sa PSA. And siguro naman din po, hindi naman siguro mahirap tanungin sa kanila if they have the authority or if they are accredited with the agency that I have mentioned earlier. So in letter C of this Article 18, by the judge of the Shariah District Court or of Shariah Circuit Court or any person designated by the judge, should the proper wali refuse without justifiable reason to authorize the solemnization. So ito po, in my opinion po, may mga pagkakataon na ayaw talaga ng wali, ayaw talaga ng guardian mo na ikasal kayo. But if kung sakali, wala naman po siya talagang justifiable reason for saying no to that marriage, then pwede po kayo dumulog po sa Shariah District Court o kaya sa Shariah Circuit Court o kaya sa any person designated by the judge kung sakaling yun po ang mangyayari po na sitwasyon. So sa nabanggit po natin, we have these 3 conditions or yung mga nabanggit po dito. Sino yung authorized to solemnize marriage? Walaikum salam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, Sister Abigail, Sister Mona Leaf, alhamdulillah. Thank you for watching po, alhamdulillah. And you can, good morning and assalamualaikum po to Sister, alhamdulillah, thank you po sa mga very encouraging words po, Sister Chef Rohan. Thank you so much, alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khair po. Thank you rin po sa yung isa sa ating mga nag-message kanina, alhamdulillah. Hindi ko lang po na kuha agad yung pangalan niya. Sister, thank you for watching this show po. And I hope po na nagkakaroon po tayo ng linaw. Yes, si Sister Ophelia Tan. Thank you for watching, Sister Ophelia Tan. Nawa po nakakatulong po yung sharing ko with you this day, tingil po sa ilan sa mga dapat nating mabigyan ng kaalaman, or we have to be familiarized with this, and then as much as possible learn from the experts. Yes, we cannot just disregard po yung mga obligasyon natin as Filipino Muslims. We have to know ano po yung ating mga rights na nakasulat po sa ating PD 1083, sa atin pong saligang batas. May mga limitasyon din tayo. What are the boundaries? Alamin po natin to, aside from yung kaalaman natin sa ano yung ating mga responsibilities bilang Muslims in a certain community. We have to exert effort po na alamin natin ito. And of course, nabanggit ko sa inyo po that in Article 3 of Civil Code of the Philippines, ignorance to the law excuses no one from compliance therewith. Atin pong isa puso ang Article 3 of Civil Code of the Philippines po. And wala po tayong lusot. Hindi po pwede natin magamit na hindi natin, yung linya po na nagawa natin yan, labag na batas, o whatever actions na labag sa batas, nagawa natin yun dahil we were not able to know this. Hindi po tayo aware. Hindi po yun excuse, hindi po yun tatanggapin ng ating saligang batas o kaya ng korte po, hindi po yan tatanggapin. So lalo na po sa ating mga kababayan o kaya mga kapatid natin sa Islam, we have to spend portion of our time. We have the same 24 hours in a day. And maybe we have to decide just a shift of our activity. Mostly we know na yung time natin, halimbawa, ay wasted lang pala. Let's say, yung paggamit natin ng social media, just looking into or just para bang inaalam natin kung ano ng buhay ng ibang mga tao. But pwede natin ma-shift yan, even 5 minutes of our time, 15 minutes or more, if we just know the importance po ng pagkakaroon ng kaalaman. Since we are Muslim, we are obliged to know what our rights, ano yung mga dapat pa nating gawin so that we can live harmoniously po sa ating society. And aside from that, if we are the adults in our family, napakaganda po, di ba? We know that the family is the unit, the basic unit in our society. So if we become the role model of our children or those youngsters in our home, magkakaroon po sila ng, at least, alhamdulillah, magkakaroon po tayo ng assurance that when they go out, these children of ours, when they go out to the society, they know how to behave, they know how to act, they know the rights, they know what are the limitations. Nang sa ganun po, ay magkakaroon ng good image ang ating Muslim Ummah sa society na atin pong kinabibilangan. And of course, we are in a non-Muslim society. Iba yung nakikita ng ating mga kababayan kung ano tayo. Minsan, these are due to exposures nila sa mga tri-media, halimbawa yung sa TV, yung nababasa nila sa mga diaryo. And nawa po, we become peoples of positivity sa ating society. Ano yung mga ginagawa nating kabutihan, this would touch other circles, this would touch other lives, and napakaganda po if everyday may mabuting nagawa po tayo. Lalo na po yung time spent well po natin, maging productive po tayo sa pag-alam sa ano pang ating mga batas. Alhamdulillah. And of course, we are nearing to our time, end of our time for this Batas at Shariah program. Yung nabanggit ko po kanina, alhamdulillah, yung sa marriage or the nikah, that is chapter 2 of our PD 1083. So nabasa ko po sa inyo yung mga requisites, nasa section 1 po ito, requisite of marriage, article 14, the nature, article 15, the essential requisites, article 16, capacity to contract, and this article 17, marriage ceremony, and last but not the least, yung article 18, authority to solemnize marriage, ay na-share ko po sa inyo. Alhamdulillah, walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi barakatuh po, Brother Dawood. Alhamdulillah, we are really trying to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala po sa mga, even pakunti-kunti lang po yung mga ginagawa nating mga kabutihan, nawa po'y kalulugdan po ito sa ng ating Creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala po. And alhamdulillah, parang investment na rin po natin ito. Even you, ating mga kapatid na nakikinig o kaya makikinig ng ating programa, sa pakikinig po ninyo, kaya pag-apply ninyo sa mga ano yung natutunan ninyo, especially yung mga sharing po, kaya yung mga lessons na binibigay ni Shariah Counselor Nor, nagkakaroon rin po kayo ng blessings from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala po. Yes. Yun po, alhamdulillah, ito po yung mga belief ng kami as mga Muslim po, that in every deed that we are doing, kahit gaano po kaliit yan, even a smile, may equivalent po na baraka or blessings yan. So, we keep on trying to know what are these opportunities na pwede nating magamit as investment po natin, and we believe as Muslims na there is really life after this life on this world, alhamdulillah, and we have to invest. Kung ginagawa natin, may mga investment tayo sa on this worldly life, and of course, alamin din natin what are those investment na pwede nating magagawa po. Alhamdulillah, sa muli, I'm so happy that you take time to listen to our program, Batas at Shariah, that is stream live every Sunday po, and alhamdulillah, sa susunod natin program, inshallah po, makakasama po natin yung host natin, si Shariah Counselor Nor, at magbibigay linaw po, kaya mga interpretasyon sa mga provisions o kaya mga articles po ng ating PD 1083. Sa muli po, ito yung lingkod, Elenida Jess. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh po sa inyong lahat.